move behind him. It seems like now that they know what the other team is doing, they're committed to a different composition. One interesting wrinkle here is Raucus, who played Zenyatta all last half, is now going to be moving to the Moira. So less damage dealing ability, but more group AoE healing, area of effect healing.
And if they get lost, they'll always have the Lighthouse to show them the way. So
Coalescence, a great ability. Heals and damages. Doesn't matter about shields either, goes right through them. So really cool stuff from Raucus. We'll see when they finally try to initiate.
oh wow, going for the hop. Maintaining my high ground as long as they can, but Muma's going to go ahead and take the fight to the point itself. Fusion's hidden in his bubble, will be able to back off now. And once again, so long as Boston keep a body on that point, they'll be all right. They need to be careful about not getting split up, however. Kellick's going to be able to make his way back to the rest of his team, but this could be a first tick picked up here for Houston. And yep, sure enough, they've got 33% and counting now.
Permanent progress on the point. Now with Axiom falling, this might just continue going Houston's way. It does just that. Boink and Dante put their name on the board, taking out their counterparts as well. There's Raucus. This is all Houston on point A.
It really is. This first point really does turn into a game of chicken. I mean, we're getting these control points. It's 3-3 versus 3-3, and then it turns into who's going to flinch first. So far, Houston have done a good job of just keeping their cool.
Yeah, who's going to use ultimates first, who's going to do things like that. Now, Fusions has not had these amazing Earthshatter ultimate abilities, but he's getting it up every minute. 1 minute and 9 seconds, his average ultimate charge time.
Right, he's a monster. This is what we expected to see. Dante about to get the grab online. He knows the note is turned the other way. We're going to get the shatter in, though. Big one getting thrown into it. And the grab follow-up as well. Self-destruct straight on the point. And the shield is going to be there to save the Boston Uprising, but they are dropping dangerously low. Not, however, the case for Houston Outlaws. They're dead! 3 of them.
Raucus just going to reset. You lost a couple of heroes early on. We mentioned how Assault, you have to play so much better as the offense. Just to the right of Brigitte right there is where the defense is going to respawn. Aim God looking to launch volleys across the map. Of course, doing extra damage will help him get his ultimate ability up faster.
That's what it's all about. And hell, hit a couple of headshots. Might get a kill as well. That feel-good moment. Jonak, not on the server right now.
Unless you're on the receiving side of those headshots across the map. You're like, oh man, I just left spawn. What are you doing?
Oh, sigh. All right, Houston Outlaws, once again, pushing on to the point. Second point now for them, so let's see, are they gonna get it done? Now he's grab angled there, thrown in by Axiom. Muma getting taken for a ride. He gets a bubble, so he will survive, and the sound barrier is there as well, but the focus fire, too good. Fusions, he can't survive. Nearly had a shatter online as well. Good start shaping up here for Houston Outlaws. They just need to find another kill here to perhaps start that snowball rolling down the hill.
They're starting to get to their ultimate abilities. It started out, I thought it was just going to be like a bunt kind of play for Houston, but they found themselves a couple kills. Now they're committed. Now they're into it. However, they lost a couple of their tank players, going to have to retreat. No progress on the point. I think Houston accidentally fought there. They were going in with such fewer resources that I thought it was going to be like a bunt in baseball. We're going to sacrifice here and then get something out of it at the end. They're going to sacrifice the fight, hope that Boston used abilities and they didn't, but then they started winning and then they actually got abilities online and started getting abilities. Yeah.
Getting excited, like maybe we're going to get this done, and then doesn't happen. Fusion back in that fight with the shield, kept his team alive. But Houston have got a couple of ults online now, so it's about getting this shield down so that Muma can get an angle for the shatter. That big stun can really turn the tide. They're going to cut him off. Blase getting caught out of the open. Not going to help things. The grab gets thrown in, and the shatter canceled. Muma just throwing it out there, and that's going to wreck the rest of his team.
They're committed, but Muma's down. That's a really big loss. The only loss so far, though, for the Outlaws as they continue to push. Progress on the point. Still some stall. They get off the point to go fight, actually.
The grab is, well, really thrown in there, but now they get back onto the point with 3. First tick, second tick, looking good here for Houston. The rally thrown into it here on the Boston. No, not on the Monster side, on the Lynxer side. It's Dante who will find the kill on Kellick, and they're just going to go in swinging. Fusion's getting focused. Not going to survive. Axiom, dodges the body block by Cool Matt. And like, now they're just trickling. They're just trying to get in, but they're not going to happen. And Boston Uprising. Really long, drawn-out fight, Hex. One at a time, dying.
It's a game of inches and a game of seconds right there. You saw Kellick's in there using Lucio's ability to ride up walls, try to stall up the point and just exist. He dies right before Aim God is able to get out there with Transcendence and heal him up. If Kellick's lives, then he's able to move people around. Might be a different final fight, but a good catch there. second earlier from Aim God, Kelix probably lives, and we might just still be seeing a fight on Volskaya last right now.
A good catch from our observers there as well, our in-game directors, giving us Lynxer's perspective. That key stun, canceling out the Shatter from fusions, really putting a stick in the spokes. So Boston now, they're going to be the ones flipping. With less time on the clock, they're going to be starting off on offense. So the onus is on them now to get some progress on this first point. Houston Outlaws on the defense should be feeling pretty comfortable. 3 minutes in the bank for them. They're looking good.
Sometimes there's an advantage that doesn't really mean a whole lot, like a minute 13 to a minute 10. No one really cares about 3 seconds, but 2 minutes is a really big deal. Boston has to be feeling some pressure right now because with only a minute on the clock, you really only have 1, maybe 2 good fights at point A.
You can squeak a second, but it's going to be chaotic, and you're just going to have to get a little lucky there.
You're almost going to have to win without ultimates because generally ultimates take a minute or so, minute plus to charge.
So this will be getting into that overtime quick, but we'll see. Boston now moving forward, sticking to their guns, not really changing up the strategy. More of the same from them. Houston side of things, similar approach as well. Fusion's really sticking to that Rein, but we have Muma on the Winston, so a little bit more mobility on Muma's side. He'll be able to dart in and out, but Boston once again taking that path above the locker room. High ground is theirs. They're going to be able to walk off the balcony if they'd like. Kelix kind of keeping an eye on things. But 40 seconds on the clock now, Hex.
Now they only really have 1 fight here. They're going to have to commit. They're going to have to go for it. The first kill on either side is going to be so important.
Man, Muma nearly got punished there. He dropped so low, but excellent support from his healers to get him topped up again to dodge it. And he will survive, but not the same for Rockus. Note the assassin removes the healer, and now Lynxer's going to feel the heat. Trying to get the punish on Aim God, trying to trade it out, but Aim God getting great support as well. He will survive it. Boston Uprising now looking great. All the kills going their way, and just like that, they had a minute to get it done. They don't even need the minute, Hex. They get it done before that.
An absolutely brilliant play by Note. It's so much in Overwatch is about read and react. He reads that Rockus is alone on the high ground momentarily while Boink is off doing something else, finds that single target, eliminates him. He isolated the healing target, able to take him out. Nice play from Note, and now they get an extension on the clock. Not much though, probably only 1 chance at last.
Yeah, for 1 chance, it's going to be 1 fight. But they do have an edge. They have ultimates online as well. The rally already getting used by Blase, but Aim God and Kelix have both got their ultimates. This is just going to be a big, chaotic ult fiesta. All the teams, all the tools, everything getting thrown into this. Who's going to come out on top? Who is going to flinch first? Rockus taking it off with a kill on Fusions. Isn't going to help things here for Boston. No kills with the self-destructs. Nope, going to throw in one of his own, though. And there it is. Muma is out of it. Quick res, though, for him. He should be able to find his way back in here, but Boston still finding the kills. Not giving up just yet.
Note is on the heavy carry, but Fusions comes back in. He died early in the fight, and now he's back. They're swinging away, trying to get as much progress as possible. And now 33. Can they get 66?
Oh, it's looking
Not
good.
Not quite.
It's looking likely they're going to get 66. They could pick up all 3 right now. This is unreal. Boston, they might pick up 4 points. It's looking good. So likely now as they're getting all of the kills. 6 alive, and Boston somehow starting off their offensive push with a minute, managed to pick up both points versus the Houston Outlaws.
With a minute and a prayer, and sometimes when it is down to your last fight, players will play a little bit looser. You're not worried about just overarching strategy. I got ult, I'm going to use ult,
yeah,
right? It's
throw it in there.
Exactly what happens. Fusion died early in that fight, but it's a great job by the rest of the team to stay alive, use ultimates, let him come back and sustain through the fight.
Once he gets back into that fight, oh, we're going to get Note's perspective. He saw that Rockus was already low, saw that Rockus was cut off. What map awareness from Note to pick up that high-value target and start the ball rolling for his team. This is the level that we expect to see from Note, though. He impressed all of us last season, and it seems like he's coming into it now, finding his own after the long break.
It is kind of strange that last season no one talks about him as maybe the best diva in the league. We were all so blinded by self-destructs from Poco, and there's so many the mechanical play of like the NYXL and London divas as well, but Note has just been as consistent can be. He gives you everything you need defensively, has those giant plays, and I've talked about this before. If you give me a diva that I know exactly what they're going to do all the time, I take it every day of the week. I want consistency out of my diva play, and no one's been better than Note.
Linkser, I like this. They're probably not going to give him a target to work with, but it would be fun to see some Widow play out of him. We did talk a bit about it at the beginning. One of the best damage dealers in the league, but he will be relegated to the Brigida. And they're sticking to their guns here. Houston Outlaws and Boston both. But Houston have a bit more time to work. Like 3 minutes. They shouldn't be feeling the pressure quite as much. They're running back to spawn now after getting the scout, so perhaps they've got a back pocket strat. It is looking like wholesale changes. Excellent. We will get Linkser on the Widow, and Dante's going to the skies. He's on the Pharah. Okay then, Hex, how do you think this is going to play out?
Well, this is what I was talking about that Houston needed to utilize. They know exactly what Boston's going to run. They're not going to throw a curveball at you, so find a strategy that's able to beat it. And under Volskaya, especially where you can spread out all these different angles from all your damage dealers, the multiple damage composition can work.
Once again though, no, same thing, but this time there is backup and he will get demeched. Might end up costing him. Boink, however, going down is going to hurt things here for Houston. In fact, Raucus and Boink both dead. And that should be the end of this offensive push here for Houston. They're going to have to back off. And we'll see. Do they like to stick to their strategy here, or are they going to go for the change? They've got time. They still got time to go ahead for another push if they like.
They did reset here, but I think the point of this strategy is that you want to get your EMP up. Of course, Sombra's ultimate shuts down the other team, unable to use any abilities like shields, like healing, like barriers, and then they're extremely exposed to what Dante's shooting from the sky, and Linkser as well.
Cool Matt's having a tough time of it right now, though. Only at 29% for his ult. So it's a slow burn on his side of things. Linkser, I like it. Clever angle, and he reaps the rewards. Headshot on Axiom to kick things off. And the follow-up on note. There we go. You can look for the combos, or you can just get people in the face. Linkser doing work right now. Fusion doesn't know which way to face. He's gone. Linkser, once again, with the help of Dante, Houston Outlaws will pick up the first point.
It's so impressive Linkser's able to start hitting those shots right away because a lot of Widowmaker players need warm-up. It's a very precise mechanical hero. If you're not hitting headshots, you're almost doing nothing. It's just difficult to do. He's been on Brigida, does not require the same level of finesse, and he comes in cold, but ends up coming in hot.
Yeah, that was the big one to start. But again, with the mind games, where am I going to be now? They don't know where I'm set up, and it works perfectly for them. And now we're going to start having those ults online. Could have the combo, could have that EMP barrage. Dante's got the barrage coming up as well.
With only 1 minute and 15 seconds, I think you just wait for Cool Matt to get EMP. You have to wait for it. That's your ace strategy. That's why you're running this composition. EMP, use it with something else, and hopefully win the point. But they don't have a ton of time.
Well, Kelix gets hunted down by Linkser in the back line. Linkser's gone for the aggressive play with the Tracer. And there it is. The EMP gets thrown in immediately, as well as Dante's barrage. They are finding the kills. The question is it enough? 2 tanks, 2 supports still alive for Boston. They're going to be tough to kill quickly. You got Kelix is dancing around on the point right now, trying to keep Note alive. Not going to happen. Self-destruct thrown out, though. That's going to make things a little frustrating here for Houston. They're going to have to back off.
That self-destruct was not intended to kill anyone. It was just that he needed a new, fresh mech call down. And with Fusion's getting a kill, Note getting a kill, it's back to the drawing board for the Houston Outlaws. They've got Pulse Bomb to work with. Now, this has to be the best Pulse Bomb of Overwatch League history. He's got to hit his support in the back line and hope that support walks to his other support, maybe take down some tanks as well.
Well, we're seeing the changes now. They have to go through with it because they need to ferry him back to the point as quickly as possible. Linkser needs to stay alive at all costs. He's going to be the one touching the point to buy time for his team to get into position. They're running back as quickly as possible. 3 seconds on the clock now, and the fight begins. And already Linkser just going for it. Pulse Bomb not going to connect. Now they have nothing really to work with on the ult front. Instead, it's Boston Uprising, not wasting any time, committing the sound barrier, taking advantage of these ultimates that they do have. And now Aim God's got the trance as well. It's going to be so difficult to kill off anybody on Boston. Houston Outlaws, they're on the edge of losing it, Hex.
These Uprising supports have done such a great job of keeping each other alive and using the abilities at the right time. You use sound barrier to make sure you're in Zenyatta